Human Josh came by my bar again. He often does when station-side, as my bar is one of the few that have the trained staff, the security measures, and the fume extractors required to get a license for serving C2H50H. A solvent for most races, a fuel for some. But for humans, it is a drink. But lately Human Josh has been coming by more often and consuming more. And not just the fermented grain product either, but the distilled liquid a few brave traders bring in their holds. So this time, after the bar was near empty, I sat down across from him and coaxed the human into talking. I could not let my best customer and biggest draw drink himself to termination. "Friend Josh," I said in my best interlingua, "are you troubled? Would engaging in conversation help?" He looked at me and smiled, the thing humans do with their mouth, but thankfully did not show teeth. "Friend Barkeep," he said as he showed me a set of hollow crystals spread in front of him. "What is a man to do? One may win, but the rest must lose." I looked at the crystals. Each one of them displayed a female form of various species and genders. I kept my eyes on them as my secondary eyes glanced back up at Human Josh. "Who do I love?" Josh said. "I'll leave a lot of girls singing the blues." I ignored the reference to color. Humans put a lot of effort into colors, but none of it made sense to me. Instead, I pointed to the closest crystal, assuming that if I kept him talking, he would say something that was understandable. Nama," Josh said in a low voice. "Meet her in a spaceport bar much like this one. Red as the sands of Mars, hungry to go out and explore, just like me." "Isn't all Mesogex red?" I replied, trying to grok where this was going. "Not like Nama." Josh stared at nothing for a while, then reached for a different crystal. "Adelaine, Queen of Colony 3. Josh said, his voice sounding different. "Rich as a poor man's dream." "A Malsro, I see. Colony 3 is Hubwards?" "Spinwise," Josh corrected me. "She could have had anyone, but she chose me." Who do I love?" Something stirred in my lower thorax as Human Josh talked. Unease? Or just hunger? It was hours after my last meal. Was it not? Human Josh got more animated as he kept talking. He grabbed another crystal to show me. "Now Beliran. Yes, she's a Nerbulan. Runs her very own ship. Easily makes 10,000 credit each trip, and is, well, energetic in the sleep pod too, if you know what I mean." I didn't tell Human Josh that I didn't. Instead, I refilled his drink. "Zell is a princess of Volcanon," he said as he showed me yet another crystal, wild, officially undiscovered. "Wants to put me on a continent's throne for my knowledge and skills. Would make it hard for you to come here for drinks then, if her planet isn't approved." "True," Josh said as he drank the drink, "but who do I love?" He paused for a few seconds as his single pair of eyes scanned the crystals. "Now Ola." "Oh, Ola. Priestess of the great Zod's oracle. I've heard of Zod. A Veabian science god, is it not?" Josh nodded. "She chose me against all odds. I mean, biological incompatibilities aside, hers and my children's would be gods as well." Who do I love?" I refilled his drink again, but held my tongue. Gods simply had no place in a rational universe, but most sentients are irrational. "Yashabel, my Jishai lass," Josh exclaimed as he reached out for a crystal featuring a figure wearing even less than most of the others. "Not her given name, I take?" "Not really, but I can't pronounce her real name. She has a third-rate ship, but a first-rate gluteus." I looked at the crystal. I looked at Josh. I had my neural implant run a word search. I don't think the GIE-5 has a muscle analog to the human. He waved my objections away. I refilled his drink again. And then, Josh continued as he reached for the last crystal. "There is Vyrdalai, my warrior queen. And Ito-okay. Yes, with weapons in all four hands, she looks very much like a warrior. Best physique I've ever seen," Josh replied, "with a clean conscience and a fierce love too. The Ito-okay are fierce in all they do, I believe." Josh was quiet for a while. I followed his lead. Finally, he cited the human not word they use when frustrated, angry, or disappointed. "You think it's easy," he said as he swept his hand over the 7 holocrystals. "Well, maybe you would, but I have more choices than one man should there is such a thing as too much good. Who do I love?" I refilled his drink. Josh drank his drink. "So here I sit," he said, on decision's brink. It's growing late, and it's hard to think. It is getting late, I agreed after scanning the now empty bar, but humans always seem to think all the time. You might as well bring another bottle, Josh said in a tone I recognized as resigned. Who do I love? What should I do? I looked at human Josh. I looked closer at him, as he was staring at the collection of hollow crystals. I tried to arrange my mouth into a human smile, spreading my dorsal fins wide for him. I felt my skin grow purple as blood rushed through my outer capillaries. Well, I said as I shifted closer, you could take up an offer of half ownership in my bar?